Listen, I've never watched an OJ documentary before in my life, and that might come as a shock because I feel like OJ and everything with this man in his life has been kind of force feed to us. But I've never ever watched an OJ documentary, even the shows like the Ryan Murphy shows. I never watched the People versus OJ. I never, because I just felt like they would. I don't know. Like at the time, Hollywood just kept on pumping OJ content, and I'm like, listen, I'll get to it when I get to it. And plus, it was after my time, so I was just like, let's. I'll get to it when I get to it. But somehow, some way, Netflix. Netflix. One thing, even though I'm pissed off at Netflix because they've been increasing them prices, but I will give them credit where credit is due. They are using that money to good use because they are, um, their documentaries always eat. Their Netflix's documentaries always eat. So Netflix convinced me to. I am saying this like, oh, like I was forced into it, but like I don't know. They led me to watching this documentary. And y'all, when I say that this documentary had me so angry, I was literally angry from start to finish at this documentary because it's like obviously like I never watched any OG documentaries, so in a way it's like I'm glad that is the case because it made me go into this documentary with a clear mind and just waiting because for so long, of course, like public perception, he got out but people still feel like he did it. So I'm like, okay, like what's the tea, like what is this giving? And it's not just that it made me, it's so unfortunate, this whole thing, what happened in the 90s, around that time with California, LA to be more specific, and how OJ was able to skate off into the sunset. Of course, yes, he got arrested later on in life, but like it's like at this point, if y'all obviously watch the OJ stuff and so, like, but for me, someone did that. This is my first documentary ever. I'm like, he did it. Like, of course, like, unfortunately, we have to say allegedly because he wasn't convicted of this particular crime in criminal court, but in civilly he was found guilty. But like, he like, if you watch the first episode, y'all, and it's so well done though. It's so well done. Especially because I think there's no, how many? Like I think it was 3 or 4 episodes. If y'all watch the first episode of this OJ documentary on Netflix, you're gonna be like, okay, he did it. There are so many pieces of evidence, and it angers me that none of these pieces, like almost like 99% of the pieces of evidence, was not submitted into the trial. And that's the part, like